Hi, my name's Fred, and I'm a blogger here at Rots and Shots. Tonight we're going to talk once again about H.R. 822, the National Right to Reciprocity Act of 2011. Now, I want to apologize ahead of time to the Republican representative from the state of Wisconsin, as I more than likely will butcher his name several times throughout this blog. The man's name is Jim Sensenbrenner, and I hope I pronounced that even close to correct. I read it several times before I did the blog, and that's the best pronunciation or enunciation I could get from it, is Sensenbrenner. Anyway, the good gentleman from Wisconsin started out a House Judiciary Committee hearing on H.R. 822 by pointing out that it's a constitutional right we have to keep and bear arms. Therefore, it is not a state right to keep and bear arms, and that the right to keep and bear arms doesn't end at any state line or state border. So therefore, H.R. 822 would make your conceal and carry license that was issued to you in your home state just like your driver's license or your marriage license for that matter. And because you have a conceal and carry license, say for example in my home state, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, does not mean you'd have to stop because you crossed the line into Virginia and say, hey, you know what, I can still drive a car, I'm still as married as I was when I left Pennsylvania, and oh, by the way, now I will also have just as much right to keep and bear arms in Virginia as I do in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, because after the passage of H.R. 822, my conceal and carry license is like my driver's license, my marriage license, or anything else. It'll be recognized by all 50 states, and therefore ending the one lone holdout state's lack of conceal and carry law. The federal law will cause an overvailing arch, so that otherwise law-abiding gun owners will not become law breakers just because they went from one state to another. Just like I will be just as married in one state as I am in another, because every state will recognize my marriage and every state will recognize my driver's license. Then also now with H.R. 822, every state will now recognize my conceal and carry license. So at this point, I once again would like to urge you to contact your members of House of Representatives from your area. Ask them, although 240 have signed on in sponsorship of House Bill H.R. 822, now you want to go ahead and contact them again and ask them to please vote in the affirmative when H.R. 822 comes up for a vote. Also, you want to contact men like Mr. Sensenbrenner, who is the chairperson of the House Judiciary Committee. And in fact, you want to contact all of the people on the House Judiciary Committee, all the representatives on the House Judiciary Committee, as I said, including the nice gentleman from Wisconsin, and ask them to as well vote in the affirmative for H.R. 822 at their earliest possible convenience. I know myself, I will be contacting Mr. Sensenbrenner here shortly. I'm going to leave him some emails and some phone calls, and in general make a pest out of myself, even though he's not my elected official. He is an elected official whose salary I do pay, and who is there to do the bidding of the general public, especially in the role of chairperson of a committee. So I'll be contacting Mr. Sensenbrenner here shortly and asking him and his fellow committee members to vote in the affirmative for H.R. 822. And I ask you to do the same thing. is to contact Mr. Sensenbrenner and his fellow committee members and go ahead and urge them to vote in the affirmative. Usually when I hear the words common sense gun laws, I run the other direction as fast as my feet will carry me. But in this case, H.R. 822 actually is common sense gun law that should be the law of the land, as we've had not one, not two, but 3 separate Supreme Court rulings that indicate that the right to keep and bear arms is an individual right and it's a constitutional right, and so therefore it should be just like any other constitutional right. It should be applied equally to all 50 states. So please do contact your representatives about H.R. 822. Anyway, my name's Fred. I'm a blogger here at Rots and Shots, and as always I welcome all comments, suggestions, complaints, hate mail, whatever the case may be. Because as I've said many times before, there's nothing any of you can do about me. I'm going to be here for a very long time, and I'm going to be bringing you the truth for a very long time. So, by all means, leave me your comments, suggestions, complaints, and go contact Mr. Sensenbrenner and urge him and his committee members to vote positive for H.R. 822. Have a great night.